In this video, we will go over sections 1 and 2 of the CEA plan. Let's begin by looking at section 1. The first item asks us to consider the study perspective. Based on what we just read, we know that for this example, the study we are to perform is from the perspective of the safety net clinic. The next question asks us to describe the intervention of interest. In our example, the intervention under consideration is testing asymptomatic women at risk for chlamydia and then treating those with positive test results. Now we need to determine the intervention study period. That is the time period over which the intervention is implemented. At this point, you might be thinking, wait, the safety net clinic is considering starting this program. They haven't actually implemented it yet. So how can we answer this question? That is a great question and an excellent way to be thinking. Cost effectiveness analyses are typically performed to determine whether or not an intervention would be effective if it were to be put into effect. Thus, the intervention of interest might not actually be implemented before performing a CEA. In these cases, we must use historical data to come up with good approximations for the measures we are interested in evaluating. With this in mind, let's return to the question at hand. What is the intervention period? In this example, for simplicity's sake, we have set the intervention period to 1 year. The next question we need to consider is, what are our long-term health goals for this intervention? For the clinic, it could be that they want to reduce the complications associated with untreated chlamydia. Now that we've solidified our long-term goal, we need to ask ourselves, how are we going to go about quantifying our long-term goal such that we can perform a CEA and calculate an ICER? This leads us to section 2. Let's begin by considering the costs associated with the intervention and without it. Based on the case study text, there are 3 sets of costs we need to consider. One is the medical costs associated with PID treatment. Another is the diagnosis costs associated with chlamydia screening. And the last is the intervention costs associated with chlamydia treatment. Now let's consider the measurable health outcome we want to use as the basis for our evaluation. Based on the case study text, there is only one outcome that we need to consider: the number of PID cases avoided due to the intervention. Because we want to avoid this particular health outcome, our objective will be to minimize the health outcome. We will pause here for now and pick back up with the remaining sections of the CEA plan in the next video.